What's up, YouTube? So, your bug out goal is the mountains. You see it just like I do. Uh, Grid down situation, chaos, whatever it may be in your mind. So I'm a transplant. I am here in the Bitterroot Valley, and I am from Texas, New Mexico, kind of that area, the flatland desert. And now I'm in the beautiful Bitterroot. So my goal was always kind of, hey, anything happened, here's your location. So this was always one of them. And here's some considerations that I have for you. One, the sun never shines here. I know I got glasses on because it's bright with the snow, and I was just snow plowing. Two, we snow plow every freaking day, every day. It's 4 degrees and it's whatever the windshield is like -4. Yesterday it was like -10. It's going to snow the next 4 or 5 days, and the windshield is like way down there in the negatives. And in the negatives, it's brutal. Like you have your gloves off and it's freezing. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about was being prepared for the cold. If you listen to a lot of experts that are, have burned firewood, no firewood, they say, 8 to 10 cords a year, a winter for one group. So let's say that was 8 cords, maybe 10. That amount would be 4 foot tall, and it would take up a 16 by 20 foot area. And you wouldn't be able to get these trees. You'd have to go down here and get these trees, right? And just the time and the resources and the security to send people down there to get those trees, cut down 15 or 20 of them, bring them back up here, would be just unreal, considering all the rest of the stuff that you have to do, all your other chores to be up here in the winter. And also the amount of tools that it will have to have, right? So let's say you had chainsaws, and the chainsaws that are able to do this, right? So you had like a steel 660 or a 441, and maybe you got a couple of little 261s, and you have all the tools that you need to maintain them and run the gas. How loud is that going to be down there for other people to know that you're there, for one? There's nothing you can do about that. That's why you got to have security. Two, when all that runs out, then what do you have? You have axes. So do you have those axes? Do you have the saws that it takes to process that much wood? Because like one splitting maul is not going to do it. One failing axe isn't going to do it. It's going to be a lot of work, probably for 8 to 10 guys. Their full-time job is getting firewood. That's an unbelievable amount of work. There's just not enough firewood here for everybody to do that. Second thing is I'm an avid hunter. I've hunted my entire life through. I spend 60 to 80 days a year out hunting. And one thing that I've noticed is if you're talking about a day's hike from here, you're probably talking 50 to 80 deer. And you're also talking, in this little area that I am, which is in the country, but I don't know, 50 to 80 people. So those deer, everybody knows where they are. They'll be dead within a month. So the only other way to get game is to actually go out and find it. So you're going to have to go from here to that valley right there and start working back in that high country to find these animals. And it's not like they just show up. They move all the time. They're hard to find. And then after you get them back there, let's say you got, 10, 15 people with you, 20 people that are living at camp here. You've got your people getting firewood and you got your people hunting. So you send 4 or 5 guys out hunting, and they shoot 6, 7 elk to bring back, or 6, 7 deer to bring back. And they're 3 days in there, and then they're 3 days boning them out, getting them ready, and 3 days back. You don't even have enough horses to make that hike happen. So the game is not as plentiful as you think. Ponds will be fished out. Deer and elk will be gone. You'll survive off of gardening. So those are 2 considerations I want you to think of now. The firewood and the clothing to stay warm is is a full-time, hardest manual labor job you've ever done. And then the ability to grow food, gather food, go to the mountains and get food, horses, saddles. I mean, can you even ride a horse? Can you saddle a horse? Can you clean their feet out? Can you reshaw them if they throw a shoe? These are questions that I'm asking. I mean, I know everybody wants it to be a tactical world, and we'll talk about that. But the reality of surviving is being a farmer, a hunter-gatherer, and to think that you're going to go up there and bushcraft it in -10. Like I'm here. You could do it a night or two. You could do it a week or two, but you're not going to survive up there bushcrafting. I mean, go back to the old mountain men. The old mountain men built cabins, right? Now you're going to tell me you're going to go back there and build a cabin? Cool. What tools are you going to use? Horses, to get the stuff back and forth up there. Saddles, pack saddles, mules, axes to build it, saws to cut it down. How long is that going to take you? So bugging out to the mountains is work. And I'll tell you the next thing that is the bigger portion of it. Are these people up here going to accept you? Because right now we got the same values. We're good people. That we grew up the same. But the truth is they don't know who I am. Now that I live here, I got to get out. I got to meet them. I got to, become part of the community, get to know as many people as I can. But, are they ever going to trust you? I don't know. Not like I trust my childhood friends that I grew up with back at home. If it happened today, would they support me? Maybe because I'm here. But if I showed up 3 weeks later, am I just going to be fit in and everybody's going to take care of me? I don't think so. They're not going to trust anybody, right? Doesn't matter where you are in the country, not just the Bitterroot Valley. Anywhere in the country, they're not going to trust you on a bug out. So these are things that you need to really think about. We'll go over a few more, but these were on my mind right now. Show you how cold it was, how much firewood, how much work it takes. And then to tell you that being a hunter literally my whole life, there's a lot of game here, but the way I find it is I spend, 120 miles driving in a vehicle and find it with a spotting scope and then make a stalk on it and go hunt it. Or I, am driving around finding sign at different water holes. Well, they're not just here like that. It's not like they're all over the place. So you got to find them. And if you don't have a vehicle to find them, your vehicle is your feet or a horse. And that vehicle, both of those take a lot of work and a long time. And if you follow the traditions of old, people didn't stay in one spot when they were up here. They moved around to be able to get their stuff and be able to survive. And we got to take those lessons from the past and apply them to the future. And remember that in any kind of SHTF scenario, you have got to be able to survive beyond the tactical side of it. And to put yourself in a situation where you're not familiar or you're not prepared is a really bad idea. Now, if you're prepared, if you have the axes, the saws, the hunting equipment, the horses, the tack, all of that, this is a great place. And so would a lot of bug out locations. But even where you're at, winters get cold all throughout the United States except maybe Florida, and you've got to have a lot of firewood. You might want to think about that. You might want to think about the saws and the tools. And I don't mean power saws, but I mean hand saws, hand tools that it takes to prepare yourself for the cold. Or just regular life, if you got to make a fire every day for food, how are you going to do that? It's really easy to go out today and make a little fire with a little bit of wood, but what happens if you got to keep that fire burning all day or 3 times a day for food, 7 days a week? I mean, you got to think about that, right? So being warm and cooking, cleaning fire, that should be your very first thought. You should really focus on that, because even if you're the best tactical guy there is, and you can just come in here and wipe everybody out, or you can just come in here and everybody's going to accept you into the deal. If you can't stay warm and you can't feed yourself, you ain't going to make it. So, some food for thought till we talk again.